The relationship with a narcissist was the best thing that ever happened to me. 6 years ago, I was the shell of the version of the person I am now. I was dating nonstop in New York. I just wanted anybody to give me the validation. Any guy, even if I kind of knew that he wasn't really that great for me or that I wasn't even that into him, if he didn't like me, I would completely turn to stone. I would crumble. I would text a ton. I couldn't even just sit with the rejection and feeling that somebody didn't want me because it felt so heavy and like I was being abandoned. And then I met my ex, the narcissist, and he was incredibly charming and he was so lovely and we had all these amazing dates and we went out for about 2 months and I remember I was so excited and we met friends and he started to meet some of my closest people. And the minute that I had said, hey, I really want to progress this to the next level and be with you, all of a sudden I got sorry, can't do it. And he got a girlfriend 2 weeks later and I was completely gutted. You would think that that would have been enough to turn me off, but no, I kept going back for more. Fast forward 6 months later, I see him on Bumble and I was like, what? And so I thought it was a fake. And so I let him know, hey, you have a girlfriend. I think somebody's using your profile. And sure enough, it wasn't. We matched and he was 3 days out of a relationship and already back on the apps. Again, another red flag I completely overlooked. And remember, all of his exes were crazy. It was never him. And we got into a very serious relationship that resulted in a marriage. And we were together for almost 2 years at that point. And it was one of the worst, most verbally abusive and mentally abusive relationships I have ever been in my entire life. He completely broke me down, isolated me away from my friends and family, would gaslight like no other, manipulative, and completely control the situation to the point where even his mother was calling me to yell at me for asking my partner to do something in the house because he didn't want to. And around the holiday season of 2018, we broke up and he left me literally alone at my house during the holidays to go see his family because he didn't want to be with me anymore. And when he walked out the door, I hit rock bottom. That was it. I was a puddle. I was a shell of a human. I had lost about 40 pounds from where I am now. And it was to the point where people were asking me if that was okay. That is when I knew something had to be done. And I dove into therapy and I went right into my inner child work and spent the last 5 years becoming the version of who I am today. And I am so forever grateful for that dude for bringing me to the edge so that I knew I had to make a change. And what it taught me was what I don't want in a relationship. It taught me all of those things that no longer served me, that I didn't need the validation from somebody else. I didn't need to replicate marrying my father and being with somebody who was so close to him because that wasn't serving me. All that was doing was triggering my anxiety and keeping me in those core beliefs that I wasn't good enough and I wasn't worthy. Fast forward now, I'm in the healthiest and best relationship I have ever been in. My career has completely taken off. My clothing company is doing well. And I have never been happier and more at peace with myself because I have finally accepted myself and shown myself the love that I was waiting for everybody else to show me. And this all stemmed from the worst heartbreak I have ever experienced. And for that, I will forever be grateful for being with a narcissist that broke me but helped me put myself back together.
It always shocks me how these women seem to always find the bad men. Right? I've often said that most guys, I want to say as high as 98% of dudes out there are pretty decent guys, right? Pretty good guys, want to do the right thing, don't want to, be bad men to these women. They still want to be chivalrous and whatnot. Plenty of these dudes out there, definitely plenty of blue pill guys out there. And there's probably about 2 to 3% of dudes that are actually bad dudes, right? Not good guys, don't treat women right, are cheaters, liars, abusers, you name it. Okay? For some reason, these chicks who aren't bad looking, who have loads and loads of men messaging them on the apps, who've had tons of options their entire lives, their entire dating careers, have had just everybody and anybody, trying to talk to them, somehow, some way, find the 2 to 3% of dudes out there, right? The tiny majority of guys out there that will treat them like they're worthless, right? Somehow, they just find these guys. I don't know how they do it, but they just find these guys. I was just watching this documentary with my girl over the weekend. It was about battered women, right? They were showing these battered women shelters and this and that. And she was like, have you ever thought about donating to any one of those? Because she goes, I know you donate to the animal charities and whatnot. And, to like the kids foundations, and stuff like that. How about the women's battered shelter? And I said, absolutely not. And she was like, whoa, why? And I was like, no. Absolutely not. Because, and I mean, I hate to say it, but this is true, and the stats will back me up. I'm like, these chicks who are here in the battered women's shelter, the reason they were there, by the way, is because they escaped a bad man. They escaped an abusive man. Statistically, these women, once they get back out there dating again, they will find themselves another one, and they will be back in this house without fail, right? Again, I don't know what it is, why these chicks have such a magnet for these type of guys, but somehow, some way, they find another abusive guy. If they left an abusive relationship, they will find another one, right? So at some point, you have to ask them, like, okay, where are you finding these guys? Why are you picking these guys? It's not like you don't have any other options. Why are you choosing these guys specifically? I think that says something about you. And so instead of going to the battered women's shelter, how about you go see a psychotherapist? You know, I mean a psychologist, not a therapist, but a psychologist, right? You'd probably be better off. Anyway, next clip.
Have y'all ever been in a narcissistic relationship? It's crazy because we all have a characteristic in common, okay? We're with somebody that is giving us conditional love. We're literally walking on eggshells depending on how this person is going to react or what they're going to say. I remember when I was engaged with a narcissist, I literally would be mindful of how I was holding my phone so that it wouldn't look like I was being sneaky, or I would try to speak in different ways to make sure that I wasn't triggering that person, because their love for me was conditional. And it's always like this level of anxiety because you don't know who you're gonna get. You don't feel safe around them. Well, if you've been in a narcissistic relationship, chances are you walk on eggshells with yourself as well. What do I mean by that? You literally beat up on yourself for not having the things that you want in life, or not achieving the things that you want in life. And you are giving yourself conditional love, just like in your previous relationship. You're telling yourself, if you don't do this, if you don't achieve this, if you don't make this amount of money, I'm gonna leave you. I'm not gonna love you. You're not gonna be good enough. So you're literally breeding that same anxiety and that same angst that you have, but with yourself. And just like you weren't able to function in that relationship when the person didn't love you, it's going to be the same thing over here. You're not going to be able to function when you're not giving yourself unconditional love. So I hope this makes you more aware of when you're doing it to yourself, and that you can start showing yourself the love that you deserve.
You have to wonder where these women are finding these narcissistic men, right? Because it seems to be a common theme, right? And your ex might have accused you of being a narcissist as well. I know my ex definitely did. And I was like, I'm the narcissist? I'm like, I'm not the one with photos of myself next to my bedstand, which she actually did have, by the way. She had photos of herself. Most of the photos in her studio apartment were of herself. I mean, they weren't really anybody in those photos. They were just solo pictures of herself in her own apartment. And yet I was the narcissist. So I'm like, yeah, explain that. Anyway, your exes might have said the same about you too. But I'm beginning to think, and I've thought this for the longest time, I go, my ideal of a narcissist these days, based on these modern women, is basically a guy who won't comply with your absurd demands. Like basically a guy who just doesn't want to listen to you. Right? Who doesn't want to be your sheep, who doesn't want to be at your beck and call, right? That, to me, that sounds like that's the narcissist, because anytime these chicks complain about their husbands and even try to explain, they never even do a good job of explaining. They do a great job of just smearing him with names and ad hominems and insults, like he was a narcissist, he was a-hole, cheater, you know, okay, how did this happen? Expand on this, right? Give me the story. No, there is no story, because once they start to tell a little bit of the story, you realize, like, wait a minute, that's not the definition of a narcissist. That is not something a narcissist would do. Actually, what you're doing here, smearing him on the internet, is what a narcissist would do. Your actions are more parallel with narcissism than what he did, right? So, yeah, it never ceases to amaze. But in any case, let's go on to the next clip.
For me, being with a narcissist felt like a drug, because every time things were good, it was like a reward for putting up with things when they were bad. And that sudden, random release of dopamine is what kept me going back. So it's not always as easy as just making a choice. Sometimes it really is like breaking an addiction.
Like I said, you will never get any low supply of women talking about how their exes were narcissists and then proceed to act out in ways that are narcissistic. Right? And most people that I've seen that have accused somebody else of being a narcissist have actually been narcissists themselves, right? It's just a self-projection, method that they do that really exposes them, But from what I've seen, most of these guys that these women were with were not a classical definition of what a narcissist would be. That we're not showing those symptoms of what a narcissist would be. And it's more, more of the signs are really being exposed in the woman herself, right? But you have no endless supply of these cackling hens online, acting out in narcissistic ways, but yet accusing the dude of being a narcissist. But you know where this comes from too, by the way. It comes from therapy that these chicks, the therapists that these chicks are seeing, are telling them that, and and just basically taking their money, so they can tell them what they want to hear, and then get them to keep coming back. But very sad tale, very sad tale. As always, gentlemen, drop your comments below. Let me know what you think of tonight's coaching video. Anything you'd like to add, anything you'd like to share, please drop them in the comments below, and I'll see you there in my comments. All right, this is M from the 33 Secrets, signing out here with the Lamborghini. Yes, it's my Lambo. Go to Matt Cross Official, my IG, see the entire process of me purchasing this vehicle. It took about 2 months to close, and the same guy who delivered my DeLorean also delivered my Lamborghini. TJ at Florida Exotic Transport. If you ever need to transport a muscle car, exotic car, he's your man. So very excited about this vehicle. It's actually a pretty rare find. It's Rossifesto Red, which is one of the rarest colors for Lamborghini. It's a $14,880 option, believe it or not. I was on a hunt for one for over 2 years, just like I was my DeLorean. Finally found one. It's got super low miles, 11K, not bad. And we're gonna be featuring this car a lot more here on the channel for many years to come. It's just gorgeous, isn't it? Whew. Oh my gosh, take a look at this. It hasn't dried yet, but I'm still putting this on there. It's my IG tag. But as always, gentlemen, make sure you smash that like button. Smash that like button below. Do it for the Lamborghini and the DeLorean. I still have it, by the way. I'm not selling the DeLorean. I'll probably keep this car for a little bit, but DeLorean is gonna stay. So we'll get the DeLorean back on here pretty soon. But enjoy the Lamborghini. And again, smash the like button. Smash that subscribe button as well. Helps me out a ton with the YouTube algorithm. And for you guys who want to support my work and all of this red pill, gold pill, platinum pill content that I'm teaching you even further, best way to do that is by jumping into my monthly online coaching program, 7 Months to Mastery, where I'm teaching guys just like you how to go out there into the world and approach and close the youngest, hottest, and most beautiful looking women on the planet. I'm talking about 8s, 9s, and 10s, same exact type of women that myself and all of my coaching students all around the world now are out there approaching and closing every single week. And I kid you not, we are making it happen every single week. And I want you to become one of us. I want you to join us. And right now it's only $1 for the entire first month of coaching lessons from me in Mastery. So take advantage of it. It's the best way to support my work. If you love what I'm doing here, if you love what I'm teaching you here, and you feel like I've added value to your life, this is the best way to pay me back. Get into my monthly online coaching program, 7 Months of Mastery. All you need to do is click that link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. It just takes 2 seconds. So do that now, and I'll see you in my next coaching video. I'm out with the Lambo. Till next time. Whew, so sweet.